Okay, so you just leashed.
I missed the first creep.
Interesting. You play
It's
with
okay.
lock screen?
I play lock and unlock.
You should yeah, you should play with unlocked.
Unlock
For the most
always?
part. Well, like when you get in team fights, you can hold spacebar in certain scenarios when you need to reset and hold your camera onto yourself. But if you play
Okay.
locked when you just like team fighting and stuff, especially when you're playing Jhin, who has an ability like his W, where you're
Oh,
not utilizing the full range of it if you don't see certain parts of the map or the team fight.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You and your support shouldn't be on the same side here against a Karma, Caitlyn. So if you see him hovering towards here, that means he needs to pressure through his ability this way. So then you mirror, you go here, and then you finish the creeps off. And then you can use this bush. What you
So,
do is get these minions, right? Then you could sit at the edge of Karma's Q range and bait her to use her Q, right? And then you dodge the Q. This
and
is
then
pretty
punish
advanced,
her.
but mechanically you're pretty good, yeah. So if you get to that spot at the edge of the skill shot range and you bait out their skill shot, um, then yeah, you can punish them for missing it. This was good thinking by you, but if you had done what I said earlier, and had been in position
Gone into the
beforehand,
bush, yeah.
yeah, you
I
could
would
have.
have had the crit on Caitlyn,
Yeah,
too.
which is really big. Like you get good control for the next 2 levels or so if you do that. You're controlling the wave pretty well. You want this to build back to you, because that way, you're not getting ganked. Because I don't think they leashed, right? Or did
Uh,
they? I guess they walked
I
in the
think
lane
they
the
did
same time they
leash.
did. Yeah, they did.
There's
But
no
either
way
way,
they
there's a
took a
lot of
camp.
cheesy ways that he could be here if you stay pushed up. So this is a nice freeze to have here. You're really safe here, actually, because if you get ganked by a jungler, then it would be 2v1 if he comes around this way to cheese or whatever. And you
Yeah.
just either walk out or kill him, depending on how stupid he is. I'm like sick as shit, so I'll be sniffling and probably coughing
Yeah, it's all good,
this
dude.
entire time. Alright. You can get control of this bush. She's not using her traps well at all, so you can get control here and be within year 550. If you're within year 550, you beat her. Even if she nets you, then you're attacking a little bit of her mana, which is fine because you have more HP over her HP. So knock off a little bit of her mana, and she can't push every wave as hard.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can play up because Zyra has these plants zoning, so your new line of scrimmage is like here. It's not really like all the way back here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, hold on. At certain times, there's a ton of kids who walk to recess by my house and my window's open.
All good.
So I don't want them all to show up on the recording.
You don't want them to hear your swearing, right?
I don't swear in coaching sessions. I don't know what you're
Oh.
talking about. I'm just
Okay,
saying,
okay.
if you watch my coaching sessions, I actually do all the time. I'll be building tank from the start. This is what, like D2, D1 MMR?
Yeah, D2, D1.
Actually, yeah, it's probably mainly D1 because you're like what, high D2 and
I D2 and
your
Brandon's D1.
supports, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'm just gonna close my window. So they are done. Alright, much better. Okay. Nice. Oh, you have to
Yeah.
take into account the movement speed when you
Yeah,
see the animation.
Yeah, I misjudged the Karma movement speed, so I
Hmm.
missed the snare. Otherwise, that probably would have been a heal.
You can step up, dude. She's being so like irresponsible with her because this is coming back off cooldown. You can legit be here and potentially even have lethal on her if she fucks up hard enough. And Karma's
Yeah.
shield was still down up to a certain extent, like 1 or 2 seconds into the trade
The
with
problem
Caitlyn,
is
it's starting to come back up.
we have exhaust instead of ignite, so it lowers our kill pressure a little bit.
That's fine. Honestly, like that's totally fine. Even if you just have to use or even if you just get her summoner spells, that's huge in this lane. You know what I mean? If you have her summoners, then you're pretty much guaranteed a kill within the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Especially once you hit 6. Because you guys have kill pressure from a mile away. As long as your Zyra's pushed up, like if you can WR, you can pretty much kill her if she doesn't have summoners for sure. You want to take this wave and leave because you have a good item spike here, and what happens is you get a good timing attack back against her where you have enough gold for your pen item.
But she doesn't have enough for BF,
Doesn't have
sorry.
enough for BF. I mean, she is gonna have enough for BF at the end of the wave and by the time she has to base. But the thing is, you're gonna have the pacing on her, right? And
Yeah.
when you have the pacing, when there's an Infernal Dragon up, that's really big.
So against a BF sword for Spire, I should just go back at 1100 gold.
No, that's not always the case. But because you
Not
have
always.
control of the lane and you can decide when you want to use your timing attack back, it's a good time to do so, yeah.
So since we have the lane shove mostly.
Yeah. Not only the lane shove, but how much like HP pressure you have on them, you know what I mean? Like you have lethal
Yeah.
on them pretty much. You guys should leave. What is he staying up for? This is like a base. Because if you base here, they're not really going to be able to shove out that cannon that hard. You might end up, honestly, only losing 1 to 2 melees, if not just 3 melees, on this entire wave for getting the right timing attack back. And then you freeze this wave, like, pretty much
But
by the time you get back, and Lee Sin's time is wasted sitting down here. You know what I mean?
yeah, you're right.
Ooh.
Yeah, unlucky. I missed that.
Oof. You got to work on, yeah, CSing and some of the W's.
Yeah.
She shouldn't be allowed to be in this lane, but I guess you have Fog of War. Yeah, did you see Victor just move through here? You need to step
Yeah.
the fuck back, dude, because Lee Sin's gonna be there.
Yeah,
too,
and then Lee Sin came through lane
Oh
and we
my god,
died.
that was so reckless. Yeah. Alright, 1 sec. While the death timer's on, I'm gonna put my window back up, because it's stuffy as shit in here. Honestly, you should have got boots instead of a
Boots.
longsword. Yeah.
Boots, pink ward.
Yeah, they're pretty important right now in bot lane with the matchups especially. It gives you like move speed here. If you think about it, in this lane gives you more lethal than the extra AD from a longsword, right? Because being
I
able to
can get
reposition
close
onto
gate.
Caitlyn, yeah, exactly. If she has, especially if she doesn't get boots on the spy, but she probably will. She has enough for BF boots. You should hard shove this wave. Hard shove and then ping your jungler to the
Dragon.
You should have pinged your jungler to dragon, yeah, before the wave even got there, so that he knows to start pathing to there, and then you hard shove the wave and meet him there. If
I think
if he knew beforehand, it would have been such an easy drag to take.
yeah, I think I was mentioning to Brandon that we should have duoed the dragon. But we
I don't
probably
know.
should
I
have
don't know
pinged
if you can
Kindred.
there. Yeah, because that's still kind of iffy. But with Kindred, it's so fast. With you, Kindred, Zyra. You could be Wing here, right?
Yeah.
I can't believe people just
Now I think we
eat that
dragon.
Q. They just like take that Q to the mouth, huh?
Yeah.
Like the fourth one too. Like 2 or 3 minions have died, so it's empowered. Oof. You should have canceled when you saw Lee coming. Just because he has 6. If you didn't have 6, you could have kept going. But
Hmm.
because he has 6 and you know he's gonna kick you out of it anyway.
We got Karma
Don't take all
Flash
the
out of it though
damage.
too,
Yeah, I know, but
so it's
still,
okay.
Karma Flash
Mm,
isn't worth your heal and you and Kindred now being low HP. You know what I mean? If you
yeah,
still had all your health and
we
heal,
could
you
have
could have
dragoned.
potentially, yeah, still dragon.
And then Brandon gets a
Oh,
really good ult. Yeah.
that was sick, actually. Nice. Okay. Here, you guys should honestly just take the tower. Take the tower and
Yeah,
then
that's what we
dragon if
end
you
up
can.
doing, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Brandon and I have been playing with a really good jungler who, anytime we get priority, he'll show up to lane and take the tower with us super early. It's super fun, dude.
Hmm.
Because you always get that like early 525. Feels so good. Once you get that pacing lead too, if you just tell your top laner to go bot after you get the dragon and then you go top, then the game should technically be over. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
because Yasuo also doesn't have TP.
yeah.
He has exhaust.
And he's Yasuo, so he's squishy as shit. And if he misplays a single time and dies, then you know how that goes. You could, if you're gonna pick up 2 health potions, you're better off just getting a refillable. By the way,
Okay.
it's the money for it.
Yeah, I think I bought a lot of potions in this game, so I should just get a refillable instead.
Mm-hmm. It turns into a gold sink after a while. You know, like buying so many potions.
Yeah.
And refillable is buffed up now by the Biscuit Mastery anyway, so feels good. Alright. Once this lane shoves, actually, right now, you can put a pink right here, and then work on these because he pulled them.
I think
So
that's what I do,
since he
maybe.
pulled them, you actually want
Yeah.
to hold them there if you can, and it would hold the wave and shove back to you and freeze. And they're not in a
Mhm.
position to contest the freeze at the very beginning, so that means the freeze is going to stay. And since Lee Sin is top, that means that you get such a huge CS lead, or if they get greedy or like lack of discipline, you know, and move up, then you just kill them. She doesn't even have a tower. What was she doing? All right. So does that make sense? How you can set up waves to lead to really big gains, like safely, without even having to risk anything?
Yeah.
You just W it in base, honestly, or just go mid. Yeah, mid is fine.
Yeah. And then we try to get a
I
I try to
figured.
get a pick here, but
Yeah, my thinking was
we end
because
up getting nothing.
yeah, see, it's easier for you when Karma is roaming to just go back, like, and get the pacing lead on going top and taking the tower down. You can even do it with Darius here, since bot is frozen out, and then Darius just goes down to bot lane after it shoves. You know what I mean? And then you go mid, take the mid outer, and then you have such an enormous gold lead as a team that it's pretty hard for you guys to lose. Make sense?
Yeah, so prioritize first tier towers.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you have your tower down, you should be helping the rest of the lanes get theirs down also.
Hmm.
Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, like if you had based and went top, like I had said before, Darius wouldn't have died to the Yasuo behind tower. I mean, that was his bad for diving that hard anyway. But then he wouldn't have died to Yasuo behind tower. You guys would have got that tower, and then you could have rotated, and this wouldn't happen just because Victor has priority, because you would be using your own priority, right? I
Hmm.
guess it ends up going fine because Diamond players don't know how to play against Darius for some reason.
Yeah, he gets like a couple kills there.
That's pretty disgusting. For a champion that's supposed to dominate in lane and get shit on mid to late game, for some reason, like, you just see Darius is popping off in skirmishes in Diamond because nobody knows how to play around him. Or, like, they use all
Or
their
kite him.
cooldowns and then he shows up. Yeah. Ooh.
I almost flashed there.
Nah.
But then I realized he also didn't have ulti.
He doesn't have ulti, and the tower the tower goes through his shield. So he'd take 2 shots of that while he's ulting, and then I think he would. Yeah, he definitely would with the newest changes to tower. Wait. So yeah, he take those 2 shots, and then there would potentially be a turnaround. No, what you should do here is
Boots
go.
BF.
Yeah, no, you should go Zerkers plus Serrated
Wait,
Dirk.
Zerker's on Jhin?
Yeah, if you have. Okay, so if you don't need a different boot option, like Lucidities are pretty nice for like pick potential and stuff like that. But the attack speed that Zerkers gives you buffs up your AD a good amount. So there are a lot of Jins that if they don't need a different boot option, will go Zerkers to get that multiplier on their AD. So you could go Berserker's Greaves plus Serrated Dirk, and that would be a pretty big spike there.
Serrated Dirk for Dustblade or Maw?
Yeah. What do you end up going here? Duskblade?
Dustblade.
Yeah, that's fine. That Thunderlords. I want to see a statistic of how many kills were had because of just specifically Thunderlords this season. That wouldn't have been possible without that all the
Without
keystone
Thunderlord.
changes. Yeah. I guess you would also have to take into account the other keystones though, like Strength of Aegis saving people and shit like that, if you were to do that.
Onto stone damage blocked.
Yeah, exactly. Those would be some interesting stats. Alright, let's see how you position here around this. I think you're fine to take the tower. You just need to set up your traps beforehand. You know what I mean? Like you're not
Yeah.
actively working on doing something productive with your traps, like when you could be. You should block that for him because he doesn't. Since Yasuo doesn't have anyone behind him directly to threaten you, you can move over to block that for your support. But you didn't see that because of locked screen, right? So
Oh, I'm sorry, which one?
here, we'll go back. Like the Caitlyn ult. You can step here because Karma is his next backup, and she's right there. So you literally just block that out and be fine. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And he can't change his sights onto you and put lethal onto you. Like he's just hard tunneling on your support, so you can just screw him up that way. Without your support having a flash, that is. Are you taking notes or something?
Yeah.
Oh, you could be after because it's gonna be posted, but that's
All
fine
right.
too. If you
I'll
learn
just
better
do it
on
after.
if you learn better on the go, that's fine, dude. Do your thing. And there go the kiddos again. I don't know if they'll show up in the recording, honestly. I know they show up in Skype because it's super sensitive mic. You can use your heal there. Ooh. Yeah, you guys overstayed a little bit.
Yeah, I told
When the
Brandon
rest
that
of the
we
team
were.
was back there.
Brandon wanted to get the tower, and I told him that we should probably back off.
Yeah, it's way
So I
too
should have
risky.
just told him.
hmm Do you usually get Swifties?
Yeah, that's what I usually get now. I used to get
Well, the thing is, usually nowadays you should only really get Swift. I mean, Jhin it's okay on because he doesn't have mobility, but most of the time you're only really gonna want Swifties if the enemy team has a shit ton of slows, which they
yeah.
do. Like if you're getting hit by Victor's Rylai's slow, then you fucked up to begin with, and Karma's Q isn't really gonna affect you that hard and shouldn't in the middle of a team fight, right? So, I guess there's a Lee Sin cripple, but like I said, any of those if they're next to you, regardless, like you already screwed up. So I think
There's also
Lucidities,
Yasuo
yeah, Lucidities or
once you get
Zerkers are
frozen.
best. Oh yeah, I
Lucidity or
guess.
Zerkers.
Yeah, Lucidity or Zerkers would be good. But the thing is, if Yasuo is close enough to you to mallet, then he's like, I mean, even with that 2 item, he's not going to be tanky enough because he's only shredding one person's damage done to him. It's definitely like a split push build because if he's not shredding the rest of the people's damage that are going to go down onto him, then they're just going to screw him over if you're positioned right. Like your Darius, Zyra, Orianna, Kindred will do more than enough damage to nuke him if he's in your backline. Make sense?
Yeah.
And Mallet is just HP. He doesn't have enough resistances to back it up to actually stay onto you the entire time. He'd have to have really, really good mechanics, which, yeah, unfortunately.
You don't believe in the D2 Yasuo?
No, I do not. If you're playing against, like, Way of the Tempest or whatever, Andrew, then maybe that'd be a little different, but not the D2 Yasuo. Alright. This is definitely top inner, yeah. Keep setting up traps. You could save one trap for zoning around the tower. I mean, obviously don't put it right on the tower because it has true vision. They'll just remove it. But sometimes that's actually effective where you put the trap down like here or whatever, like next to the tower so that they auto it, focus it for a second, and then you guys get the last couple shots on the tower. But other than that, you can save one trap and yeah, put it down if they try to engage like that. You should be up there with your team. I think your team just like kept walking up with confidence that you were going to keep going, but you just stopped. Ooh, shit. Turn.
Yeah, I probably should have
Could have
ulted
used your
there.
R, yeah.
Yeah.
And Kindred could have went. Orianna could have moved up also.
And
Hey,
then she
after this, if you're
flashes.
not watching anything, by the way, check out the Schalke tryouts. They're being live streamed.
Right now?
Yeah.
Was it just like in-houses, sort of?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like skirmishes?
They're doing tryouts, yeah. There's like Pinoy there. I coached a little bit, I imagine. And actually, no, at TDG. Yeah. And then,
all
couple
EU
other
players?
EUCS names. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's all EU. And then I think their coach is Hermit, but I'm not 100% sure. There's some talent there. I mean, I think the bot lane talent is alright in those. I heard a lot of the other talent that's in that boot camp is subpar, though. But either way, if like watch competitive league as much as you can for the things that you need to improve on in terms of what do you call it, like wave management and stuff like that, because those AD carries will pretty much always know how to set up their waves in advantageous positions. That's one of the ways they got to where they are now, because that's one of the most impactful things that you can do as an AD carry is set up your waves to make like sure but safe gains. You can put a trap right here. This is like so risky. You shouldn't just be walking into Fog of War like this. Hit your Ghost Blade and just go. Alright. You can base with them if they're just going to reset. Because Orianna's going to mid anyway, and you could just pick up Pickaxe and end up just going Last Whisper. Unless, actually, you could go Maw.
I think I went.
Go Maw. Yeah.
No, I think I ended up going Rapid Fire and then Pickaxe afterwards.
Oh, okay. Honestly, with how big Victor is, Maw is fine. It gives you a little more flat pen, too. So yeah, but I guess the thing is, like, you haven't. If you look at the team fights so far that have, as they formed, would Maw or would Rapid Fire really help you with the extra range that it gives you? Like, I don't think you've really been utilizing that. You know what I mean? You haven't even really been on
Yeah,
team fights.
it's been mostly my W and my Qs.
Yeah. And it doesn't give you much versus that team either because they get to you really fast. Because it's Victor with, I'm assuming, Ghost, Yasuo, and Lee Sin. So, yeah, like they're going to be closer to you than the max rapid fire range if you initiate a fight and then you try to auto. You shouldn't have taken all the damage outright from him. Like you could have backed off. What you should have done is hover this. Wait, holy shit. Like hover let me see if this is the right. Yeah, that's the right size. Okay. You can hover right outside of his effective range so that he can't E to get out through you. Like wait a little bit for them. Like look, you can just put a trap right here. Actually, the way he is now, you could walk right through him. See where his no, I guess that's not as guaranteed because then you have to really rely on your W. Okay, yeah. So you just melee ranged him for a little too long. If you just used that Ghost Blade and like ran that way after he had already E'd, you know, then you don't have to take this much damage and you can keep sieging with your team harder. But this is okay. You should get a pink. When you only have one slot, get a pink. But yeah, if you still had enough HP to siege with your team, then
Oh yeah, what do you think about Brandon's build in this case?
um, I think you guys don't have an Aegis, which is not a good time against that Victor. He should have went. I mean, he could have even went Banner, honestly, as OP as Locket is. But I know it's solo queue, and you guys had a really big lead in lane, so he can get some damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know about Zonya's there. Zonya's is maybe okay after considering their comp, but he should definitely get Banner of Command first.
So Locket
Actually,
item
it should have been yeah, Aegis
against Fed
item.
AP.
It should have been Aegis item into well, he can get that third upgrade Sightstone, right? Then he goes Banner of Command, then he can go Rylai's. Yeah, that'd be better than the build he has going on now. W. All right. Is that triple Inferno?
Yeah, triple infernal.
Pretty disgusting.
With the Jhin.
400 AD at 26 minutes. That feels all right. Imagine if you had Zerkers too. Be pretty lit.
So you're saying most of the time Zerkers is the best?
No, not really. In solo queue, a lot of times Lucidities will be a really good offensive boot option. But here, it's more so about getting your AD up because their team is pretty damn squishy overall.
So if they have a squishy team, Zerkers. If they have a lot of slows, Swifties. Otherwise,
Um,
Lucidity.
Lucidity is really good for picks and yeah, just overall CDs and then as well as summoner CDs. If you feel like you're gonna need a lot of summoner CD, then Lucidity is good to go for also. But yeah, solo queue, Lucidity is really nice in a lot of games. But his boot options are really variant. You could even go defensive boot options depending on the enemy comp. Like if they have full AD, Tabbies is okay.
If they have a Kennen, I usually go Mercs. Because Kennen always dives me.
Um, you could just go QSS there, but it is a pretty big gold sink. The thing is, though, your core two items aren't really that expensive compared to crit items for ADs, so you can just get, like, actually, you could even go Ghost Blade, Serrated Dirk, and then QSS against something like a Kennen. You know what I mean? And then you
Yeah.
still have enough damage and the survivability of QSS, and then somewhat of an offensive boot option if you end up going it. Alright. Do they realize Caitlyn's not even there to headshot off the traps?
Nope. Ori went back, and she still
Uh,
had shockwaves,
okay.
so
Yeah, you guys should leave as soon as Ori goes back.
this Ori didn't really was playing really passive the whole game.
Mm-hmm. I'd honestly rather that than a teammate that's gonna be, creating a
Suiciding.
fiesta. Yeah. You should check itemization more often.
Like what? Just different build paths.
Like, no, the enemy team's itemization, sorry.
Oh,
Um, yeah, because if they didn't have a lot of armor, you could have honestly went Vamp Scepter instead of the pickaxe.
really?
Yeah, just because, have you realized how many times you found yourself in a scenario where you have to leave, like, in base just because of your HP?
That's true. But pickaxe can also go into IE as well, which is what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I
I
think an
know, but you
LW or
don't
an
you don't
IE.
really need the damage. Look at your team.
That's
Like
true. And we had
you
a
could even
triple
go
infernal.
yeah, you could even go Vampiric Scepter into the IE. Even though it's weird and you'd have to hold BF sword for a really long time, but by then honestly the game's over regardless. You're not itemizing for an item away from now, you know what I mean? You're itemizing for right now because the game's about to end once you get this Nasher.
Yeah.
That's why so many ADs will just get like if they know that there's going to be a game swinging fight, they'll get the elixir regardless of
Red
how late
elixir.
into the game it is, yeah, or how many items they have. All right, man. Good stuff. You got any questions?
Not really actually.
All right. You feel like you learned what
Yeah,
you learned today?
my mind is now 10 times greater, I guess.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
ready to become the best ADC in the world.
you want to be the very best that no Jhin ever was.
Shut the hell up.
All right. Um, cool. Then I'll check in with you. We could do like another session in a month or so after you feel like you've worked on the stuff from this one.